Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from cold, gloomy London. Finished out the day and had a chance to take the guys out for cigars and whiskey, to kind of celebrate all the wonderful things we were able to achieve and accomplish. Just going through the last minute stuff before we call it a night. Some of the people stayed up for more than 30 hours straight, put the war room together, but the chain has healed. All the pieces are back together. As I predicted, two chains have become one, which is pretty special if you think about it. So what happens next is a long slog of analytics and just comparison. And they have to see what the damage is because there's all these orphan blocks and it's unclear if there were double spends or whatever. But we'll figure all that out. But I don't want to make a video as a post-mortem. There's already blog posts being written, and a lot of information will come over the next 48 hours to 72 hours. I did want to make a video about the sentiment changing a bit. When we entered this day before the attack, it was pretty glum. It was pretty bad. Not because an attack had occurred, but because we have lived now with 4 years of constant market decline, with a little glimmer of hope here and there, like when Trump tweeted about ADA or other things. We go up to $1 or something like that. But the markets are weak, and it's caused people to get into this cycle of neurosis. We keep having disappointment after disappointment, and everybody understandably is not having the best of times. And 2025 has been a very tough year. There's been a lot of airing of grievances, a lot of built up rage and anger. And when you look at it, these were not new things, but these were things that we just couldn't express properly, or it wasn't the time to express it. When governance finally came out, we could all say what we really felt. And there's truth in all the things that people said, regardless if it was hurtful or not. But at some point, you have to look at yourself and say, is there anything productive to be gained by continuing to tell the same truths again and again? And it felt good for people to come together all across the ecosystem. Some like each other, some don't like each other, some really don't like each other. We, for a single day, got to set all of that aside and be able to unify. And the community as a whole is a simulacra of that. You guys came together as well. And today, November 22nd, about 3:11 a.m. here in London, you guys are more unified than you've been in a very long time as a community, as an ecosystem. And that's a special thing. And if we will it, we can keep it that way. Or if we don't protect it, cherish it, let it grow, it'll break apart again. You see, the coming 90 days to 180 days are going to be very pivotal. I'm going to be spending an enormous amount of time getting midnight out the door. And to me, that's the single most valuable thing I can do for Cardano DeFi. I commissioned a report, my people write them, on the state of things in Cardano. I got all kinds of documents. It's a long, long report. It's about 40 pages long. The TLDR is we're not where we need to be. In fact, it's like the slogan of the United States, the real one. We know, we're working on it. There's nothing that can't be fixed. But the reality is there's a lot of integrations that have to be done. There's a lot of products that have to be built, a lot of dApps that have to be built up, and a lot of people that need to be given a glass of ice water and help. And more broadly, we lack a set of unified KPIs for what is the definition of success. So this year was the year about airing of grievances, about surviving attacks, about people saying what they really meant, governance institutions coming alive, and philosophical discussions ranging from how much should we pay for the Treasury to should the Constitutional Committee be compensated. And we had all those conversations. For better or for worse, there was winners or losers. And you know what? They'll keep going on, but they no longer define us. And it would be pretty boring if we kept talking about the same things again and again and again and again and again and again. So then the question is, what should we talk about? Well, I, for one, like to talk about setting some objective metrics with this network over the next 90 to 180 days and then measuring where we're at. So, we took the measurement here, and our best approximation is we're in a not a good place. And we need to socialize that and discuss why. And there's a lot to do, you know. I know how to get hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of TVL on Cardano. In fact, the existence of Midnight and the upcoming RealFi project alone should probably do that. We know how to get the integrations done. The ticket price for all of the integrations that Cardano is going to need is going to probably be around $100 million. All you people, you come to me and say, when this, when this, when this, as if we just don't ever talk to anybody. We do talk to them. And every year they give us increasingly more usurious prices for integrations because they don't take Cardano seriously many times. And at some point, somebody's got to pay. So it's probably going to be the Midnight Foundation and input output that end up biting the bullet. And we'll find a path to just get it done. Tier 1 listings for the first time ever for Cardano native assets are coming. So that's something to look forward to. And it opens the door for everybody else. And that alone will be an opening, but it's not a full DeFi market. And there's a lot we can do to make that happen. So how do we get there? Well, here's how we get there. We do it with the Newfound Unity that we have. All the solutions, all the knowledge, all the entrepreneurial will, if we unify as a community, is there. I know that for certain. And there's sufficient funding, sufficient resources to get all these things together. While all these people run around, we're outside of our community spiking the ball, saying, see, Cardano's not so invincible. I don't think they fully appreciate or understand that an attack of this nature and a fork of this nature in a proof of stake system is nearly unfixable in a conventional proof of stake protocol. So much so that you would have to hard fork the network. You'd have to restart it from a checkpoint and have a permanent scar. It's now as if it never happened. Ouroboros is built like a tank. And that's special. And we found a way to preserve that into the future with Laos, which will ship in 2026. So, we're going to do our part. Hydra is really coming into its own with Delta DeFi launching, and Sam and his team starting to do vending machines with Hydra. And we as a community, if we fully embrace that, we can take it to the next level and really showcase its second generation capabilities and have damn near unlimited TPS on a DApp by DApp basis. And with Laos being 60 times faster, the layer 1 is going to be strong. But there's a lot more we need to do. We need to get Starstream in to get composition. We need event sourcing. We need pub sub. We need data availability. These things will come along with the bridges and stable coins and oracles. It will happen. Where we as a community can come together with this Newfound Unity. And we, just like today, can say, what problem do we need to solve this hour? Who do we need to talk to right now? How do we assign tasks? Who's responsible for this? Who's accountable for this? Who's consulted for this? We can just do that. And after all, why can't we? There's nothing defective about us as people or about this ecosystem. And what we just showed the entire space is you can kick us in the teeth and we get right back up and we keep on going. And the network never stops. Even when it's forked, it never stops. It keeps moving, keeps building, and there's a lot of goodwill. And deep down inside, every single person wants Cardano to succeed in the Cardano ecosystem. In the telling of truths and the following of our own narratives, we all can be divisive, myself included. And there have been many times where I've been unnecessarily harsh to people. Most of this comes from a position of indignation, frustration, and exhaustion, to be frank. It's hard to do the same job for 10 years straight and live 4 of those 10 years in a state of perpetual decline, as every year we'd give it everything we got to try to get things where they need to be. It's also hard to have a lot of integrity and look at an industry that oftentimes has none. Let's just be frank about it. This is the industry that gave us Celsius and OneCoin and BitConnect and Luna and FTX. Unbounded corruption at a scale we've never seen since the baronial age of banking. And it's not going to get better. As the markets get more globalized, we will continue to see that. And some of the people who won probably shouldn't have, and they're just going to get away with it. But they have to live every day looking at themselves in the mirror and knowing that it wasn't honest. And at the end of the day, they didn't get to change the world. They just got to scavenge some value from honest people. So we keep beating the drum and we keep pushing forward. We're not going to get accolades for what we did today. The people who spent 30 plus hours up or in the war room, writing code, picking up the phone, calling people, emailing people, getting exchanges to upgrade, getting SPOs to upgrade, testing things under enormous pressure and uncertainty from the crypto media. But at least we can have the compassion to give those accolades to each other. And so, bottom of my heart, to all the people who were part of the solution, thank you. You did your job, you held the line. Some small, some large, but each and every one of you mattered. And each and every one of you did something significant in the long run. You kept this dream alive. And now we're unified. We're empowered. We have a new kick in our step. Back. I'm tired of the 4 years of decline. I think you are too. I'm tired of the macro being our master. And no matter what we do, if Trump tweets something, or if a tariff comes out, or if some goddamn bank in a country we've never heard of collapses, then suddenly the markets go down 20%. You know what? Fuck it. It's about time we go our own way. And we're never going to go our own way unless we unify as one, we get together, and we just get it done. So a lot of people that input-output are going to work real hard on the Cardano business unit and what we need in commitments at IOE and finishing out a big chunk of the old roadmap, as well as a lot of future stuff. And a lot of people in the company are working hard right now with Bitcoin DeFi. And a lot of people are working hard to get RealFi launched and make that a multi-billion-dollar concern. In fact, I heard a statistic today while I was smoking cigars. John O'Connor was sitting with me. He said, Charles, you know what I'm most proud of in the 10 years I've been part of all this? I said, what is it, John? Because he's actually started at the Cardano Foundation before he worked for me. And that was in the Michael Parsons era. So he was here basically since 2016. I said, man, there's so much you've gone through, John. What is it? He said, Charles, I ran through all the statistics. Guess how many loans we gave out with RealFi last year? I said, how many? He said, guess. I said, 50,000. I lent about 5 million. He said 1 million loans rolled over every 1 to 3 months. Roll over, roll over, roll over. 1 million loans, about 70% of which were to women. I said, my God, John, that's incredible. Average interest rate was 17%, NPL 2%. Normally it's 85%. I said, how do we bring that to the world? He said, we got it done. We know how to do it, and we're going to get it done next year on Cardano. When I said banking the unbanked, we didn't give up on that. We just had to figure out how to do it at scale, ethically, and with integrity. That's why I built Cardano. I just didn't trust the other platforms, and I realized somebody was going to come by and fuck it up. So I said, you know what? Let's get it done right. And it was really amazing to have that conversation. It was really amazing to see the data and the statistics. And that's just one of many projects. And not just our own projects. If you look to the broader ecosystem, whether it be Strike or Liquid or Fluid, be Iagon and their recent successes, or World Mobile getting listed on Coinbase, or whether it be the SNEC community or the Hosky community, whether it be MinSwap or Sunday Swap, there's hundreds of stories, small and large. And most of these things are made up of small teams of people that never lost the faith. At the Midnight Summit, we saw a lot of them because a lot of them are building on midnight. Jiro Wallet was there, and I had a lovely hour-long meeting with the 3 founders. And these kids, they're great. They believe in what we do. And we're all neighbors, even if they come from different ecosystems, different chains. We had people from Avalanche there, people from Solana there, and they all left saying, we had low expectations, and we expected the people to be quite hostile because we'd heard such bad things. And we were pleasantly surprised that everybody welcomed us with open arms. They just wanted us to know the cool and interesting things we were building. That's pretty special. And that's what Unity is all about. We need, as an ecosystem, when we rally, not only to fix the problems, but we also need to acknowledge and recognize the people who got us here. And we need to make sure we make an effort to get those people where they need to go for the greater good of everything that's been done and will be done. Cardano is not going to fail. That much is certain. No matter how hard you hit us, we get back up. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that Cardano is going to succeed in becoming the world standard. You have to earn that. And it doesn't stay that way. You have to earn it every single day. We earned it today, right now, on the 22nd and 21st. We earned that. We showed the entire cryptocurrency space. You can hit us and we can get right back up. But we got to earn it tomorrow. And how we earn it tomorrow is a little different. We earn it with a positive attitude and a genuine belief that we can find a way to get along, even if we disagree, even if we've been disagreeable, even if harsh things have been said, even if there's philosophical differences. And we can say, okay, what's the next thing we need to get done? What's the next thing we need to build? If we keep this attitude, there is no reality where we're going to lose. It's going to be hard. The road is long. But you know what? What else are we going to do? Just sit on cryptocurrency Reddit and post mocking threads on suicide hotlines, memes about people working at McDonald's, complaining about yield not being attractive anymore and your coins not 10xing. How pathetic of a lifestyle. So bereft of empathy. Our way wasn't necessarily lost, but it was buried and tarnished and lost its luster. And today we got to experience what we used to be. And I hope that reminds everybody of that and inspires everybody to pick themselves up, remove the tarnish, dust off. We're a little older. We have some more scratches, and it's not going to be as easy as it was in 2021. But you know what? We're going to win. There's nothing I saw today that convinced me otherwise. I saw unified people, brilliant people, capable people who truly understood why what we've built is worth saving. So just wanted to make a quick video before I went to bed. I am fucking tired, and that's okay. I want to put in the work tomorrow. You are too. And we're going to wake up one day and we're going to be number one. Good night, everyone.